It's me, Jay Renard, and felt like doing some basket weaving stamps, basket weave stamps. And I started to prep, and I decided to go on ahead and get in on the get in with the live stream. So here we are. So normally I try to have a better microphone, but since I'm going to be doing a whole lot of the stamping, I decided to just use the regular old mic. So I already started the prep, had this cut out, got the lines marked with the compass, and I'm about to start this here. Um, and I'm about to go ahead and put some music on. Let me get that started. And gonna be running some lo-fi today. Don't stop. And that's my dog. All right, back up, back up, back up. Thank you. You're the best. That's what I keep telling him because he is. He is the greatest ever. Make sure that that's where I need it to be. All right, so some of you all are able to see it. This is already cased, which means I've got some water into it. Um, it's almost back to the regular color. I might give it another bit with the water, but we'll see. Then I'm going to cut this bevel here and along the bottom and along there. This line here is my reference line because I'm going to be doing the basket weave, but it's going to be at an angle. And then the camouflage tool here, and I've decided on going with the Berry King Texas stamp right here, and you'll be able to see it more, but there's a star about where Austin is, and the Christian cross stamp right there. So we'll go on ahead and make this something of an Easter stream as well. All right, let me go on ahead, get some of this music rolling here. And of course, nothing is in alphabetical order because I don't know how to change this setting. But it's all good. We're just gonna roll with some of that lo-fi girl. So normally when I'm listening to lo-fi girl, it's the synthwave radio because that's what helps me study. But we're gonna go with that smooth hip hop. Actually, no, that's a little too slow. We need something a little more active. All right, let's see how this rolls out. All right. Hopefully that's not too loud. I'm gonna turn on the chat here. That is pretty loud, so I'm probably gonna turn that down a bit. All right. All right, that's a little bit better. So this looks like it's pretty good. It's about halfway through, maybe a little bit more. So good to go there. If you got any questions, go ahead and put them up in the chat. I will do what I can to make sure that I'm Johnny on the spot with the answers. All right, I got lucky on that one. So for the record, when you're doing something like this, where you're going from one point to another point, so that you don't overdo it, go about 3/4 of the way, maybe a little bit more, and then go from the other side in. That way you don't run the risk of cutting into this line. I messed up there, but honestly, I got lucky. So learn from my mistakes. All right. This is still really, really difficult for me to do because of my injury. It's not the doing of it that's the hard part. It's the lack of sensation. Got a fair amount of nerve damage that is permanent, so all right. So there's that. Now, you'll see here that there's a reference line that I've scribed in there. That's at a 45-degree angle to this line here. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to align my tool and make sure that I'm looking at the top of the tool. I wish that there were some indicators on it, but there isn't. I'll probably have to put a little dot somewhere so that I always know looking at it that this is the top. But I'm going to put the bottom edge. My line. There we go. As close as I can get to the edge there while still being on the line. Yep. That was a little too hard, but it's in there. All right, so like I said, that's the basket weave stamp. Hopefully that's good and in focus, not too close. There we go. So you can see where the star is for Austin. All right, so then we're going to align also on. Oh wait. And that's what we get. Had it the wrong way around, and the only way to fix it was to make the mark deeper. Because I am stupid. But hey, you live, you learn. Make sure that's facing upwards. And that I am a force of destruction in my own workshop. There we go. Have it aligned properly. So were I to keep the same stamp, this would go much faster, but I'm not. But once this initial line is done, I'll be able to just go with the offset and everything will be fine. That there, lined up. That's what happens. All right, put it away, right side up every time. Ugh. I don't know if I can, in good conscience, sell this thing. I'm over here screwing it up, or at least process here. Oh, come on the line. There we go. I can tell you this one's not going to go all the way, but I'm going to get as much of it as I can. All right. That's going to get covered up with the camouflage tool anyway, but still. All right, now, since I've got this initial line, I can make this happen here. I'm going to get most of it. So now, I'm just going to offset on these marks here. Come on. And lining them up. Can I get another good one in here? Maybe. Nope, not really. But I tried, and that's what matters, right? But get in, come on. I'm really hoping I'll be able to get this out of the image in there. All right, so I'm gonna keep going with the cross up here. Then I'm gonna finish the rest down there, facing the proper direction. If anyone's got any questions, let me know. And that is my dog scratching the heck out of me. He's very upset that we're not out on a walk, but we will be soon, Doug, I promise. Just haven't done one of these in a while, and folks deserve a bit of a show. Some of this is going to get lost, but that's fine. And get another one of these in here. Yeah, you can get one more, or most of one anyway. All right. So now the camouflage is going to be for later. So I'm going to bevel this area down. I have something else heavy. I do not. Maybe this. I want to say this is the Berry King Steep Beveler. I'll stop to check in a minute. Doo-doo. So I'm doing this because the piece itself is starting to curve a bit. There's a little bit of rebound, so I'm trying to keep this down as much as possible. That's better than nothing. This will look a lot cleaner once the camouflage tool is added. If you're wondering why I flipped this over, this side is textured, this side is smooth. I don't want this textured side to put in any unnecessary marks. Let's bring this in a bit. don't put yourself at an odd, barely workable angle just to get something done. That's not helping anyone. It's certainly not helping your piece. Some folks like to bevel away from themselves. I don't. I tend to bevel towards. All right, steep bevel done. Now for the camouflage tool, this one here is one of my favorites. Hopefully that is in frame, and there we go, in focus. Some people like to use the mule's foot, which looks a lot like, actually here's one here, but the one that I have, it comes up very high. It's very steep. I don't have a smaller one. Hold on, wait. I think I lied to you. I definitely lied to you. Oh. So this is a much smaller mule's foot. There it goes. All right, so thank you very much, Dave. I appreciate it. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my favorite camouflage tool. I'm gonna use this along the bottom, except for the corners. I'm gonna use this in the corners because I don't like having a half of one or having it end terribly. So I'm gonna use this along the bottom, then throw this in the corner, then use this up there, throw that in the corner. And I know that I'm making life significantly harder on myself, but that's what I'm choosing to do, so that's all there is to that. And for that little small piece in the corner, put in some of this action. Honestly, I might just do this for the other one too. There we go. Some uniformity. And now, I don't have a website per se. I have an Etsy shop, and I believe that information is in the bio Actually, I know it's in the bio for my Instagram. I cannot for the life of me remember if I put that in the bio for my YouTube. But the Etsy shop is just etsy.com/shop slash J Renard Leather. All right, so gonna go with the command decision to not use this significantly larger one. I'm gonna go with this much smaller one because this just comes too far out. See, it would come out here a little more than a quarter of an inch. So I'm gonna use this one, which is very similar, and just go down the edge there. Sorry about that. That is barely in frame. Let me keep this up here in the corner. And thank you very much, Dave. I hope you see something that you like. All right, and just like that, the basket weaving for this one side is nice and done. So I definitely had a couple of mistakes in there that I had to fix. I'm gonna let this dry overnight. Then I'm gonna antique it, and then I don't know. I was thinking about selling it just because I haven't made anything with the basket weave and not in a while. But it is Easter weekend, so maybe I'll do a giveaway. Be charitable. Doo-doo-doo. All right, and while all that's going on, where's my number 2? Here we go. So these other lines that are demarcated out, these are stitch lines. So going to be stitching from here out, over and around. Ugh, I knew I messed something up. Gone too far now. So out, over and around, up and then down, boom, done. So that's how you get the stitch in just one long stitch. But I'm gonna go ahead and bevel now because why not? That's the upside of using the, come on. Oh. So I use a cutting die. Obviously these cuts are just too precise. So the other piece that I have will just go right up to it. Easy day. I don't need to worry about truing out the edges. Everything will just fit. All right. So this will be the front. The back I've got somewhere. Yep, here we go. No, this isn't the piece this is a piece that I cut earlier. Huh. Now, this side is what's going to be out. This side doesn't really need to have anything tooled onto it. But, I mean, since we're here and that basket weaving went pretty well, what do you say we just throw a rose on this bad boy? I mean, that's not really all that fitting with the Easter theme, so I'm a little hesitant about it. Plus, it'll be on the underside that nobody will see. You know what? I'll just leave this as is. I'll put the stamp on this one when right before it's time to sew this bad boy up. So that's it for the stream. Got the basket weave in. If anybody's curious about what I was saying about where I messed up, let me know. I will explain my shame in a bit. Or I'll explain my shame in the comments after the video is nice and posted. All right, that's all that I got. You all have a great one. I'm Jay Renard, and I'm out. Peace. Oh, watch of the day. I'm rocking the Timex Iron Man Expedition. Yeah, I'm addicted to watches. I try to swap them out most every day, but today, keeping it solid with the Timex. All right. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, throw them into the comments section. If you have any requests, let me know. Hit me up on social media. If I have the time to knock it out, I'll see what I can do. I'm a full-time college student right now, so it is what it is. But thank you so much, everybody, for your time and attention. I'm Jay Renard, and I'm out. Peace.